Damn it, we have to record this podcast.
We sure do.
8 o'clock, and I still have to fucking go through this, find bumpers, put music on it, and post it.
Oh, right, it's Tuesday.
Hi, welcome back to the Radial podcast. My name's Austin. I'm joined by Devin.
Hello.
And Jeff.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Hello.
There was no news this week.
There was no
wasn't
news
any
this week.
This week.
You're jumping right into it, huh?
Yeah.
There was news this week.
What?
Ferrari's going to have a new livery at Suzuka. Did you guys see the new livery at Suzuka?
It's like a M thing.
It's a M and a W.
It says Mission Winnow.
Yep, it's
What
some
is that?
Philip Morris something.
Cigarettes!
It kind of looks like the Marlboro logo still.
I'm sure that's intentional.
I know, but they're very much... They were like, yeah, it actually doesn't represent any of our brands. Like, then why the hell are you doing it? It's because it looks like the Marlboro logo.
Yeah, all they have to do is kind of like insinuate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure really what Mission Winnow is. It must not somehow be
It's not about winning.
it's not about winning, it's not about cigarettes.
It's not about any of their brands.
So I don't know what's going on. I also just don't understand why Philip Morris sponsors Ferrari year after year.
Because they make hella money and like Ferrari.
Maybe.
I guess, but they can't be seeing much return from that
Bet.
with no sponsorship on the car.
They do now.
They do now, but like
But not for any of their brands.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like Marlboro.
kinda.
But also, there's
But I guess-
probably somebody like
In the same way that the
in
barcode
Philip
kind of
Morris
looked
who's like, yo,
Yeah.
Ferraris are cool. And we can send a Riva Bene over there.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I wonder if Arriva Bene is what's keeping that relationship alive.
I've heard multiple reports now, rumors, that he's on his way out the door.
Yeah, I feel like we got that last season too.
I know, but like
I feel like they're
for him to take another position elsewhere type of thing. Also, you know, with how this season has gone and how Seb's not going to win the World Drivers' Championship, really wouldn't surprise me. He's probably on his way out.
maybe 2019 is going to be weird.
It sure is. I'm really curious to see how Leclerc stacks up against him.
Me too.
God, I want
next
him
year.
to outdrive the fuck out of Sebastian Vettel.
Same?
Because I like Leclerc, right? Like, I don't have a problem with Ferrari. I just don't like Sebastian Vettel. So,
I've got some problems with Ferrari. They seem like they're assholes, but
no, they're assholes. Like, I don't like the team, like, how they operate, and, like, how they're like, fuck you, we're Ferrari, give us money. But I don't have a problem with Ferrari, right?
right, yeah.
Like,
Same. I don't really have a problem with Vettel though, so
no, that's fine. Like, that's cool.
I'm looking forward to see Leclerc do good, and I hope that they've got some
I hope
competition.
Leclerc does very good.
Yeah.
I also hope Pierre Gasly does very well.
Man, me too.
Yes.
Like, I like Pierre,
Same.
and I want him to do very well.
Same.
I don't want either one of those guys to play second seat to Sebastian Vettel or Max Verstappen.
Yeah. Speaking of Vettel, an interesting thing I saw today is that Vettel's actually scored more points this year since the summer break than he did last year, which was surprising to me because I feel like, not to jump the gun, but I feel like it's felt worse.
It has felt worse. I think
Than
it's
last
because
year.
Hamilton has scored, like, of the possible points that he could have scored.
He scored the exact same last year after the summer
Did he
break as
really?
he has this year.
Wow.
Maybe it's Sebastian Vettel's failures or Ferrari's strategy failures that make it seem worse.
Yeah. Also, Bottas and Vettel have scored the exact same number of points since the summer break.
I wonder if it's Vettel has scored the same points this post summer break this year as last year, but his opportunity to have scored more points this year has been greater. Like he's been in a better position when something has gone the wrong way that cost him points to get him at this.
The one thing to note here is Singapore last year, where he got no points.
Yeah.
But he scored 30 more points this year than last year post summer break. 75 versus 45. This is a pretty big jump, and it feels kind of like the reverse.
Have you guys seen the things where people outline, like if Sebastian Vettel hadn't made any mistakes this year, how far ahead he would be in the championship?
Yeah.
I believe it.
It was a significant margin.
It was. I think it was like 80 points.
That sounds maybe right.
It sounds pretty close. Like it was a fair number.
What all significant mistake?
Germany.
Like aside from
Germany's
Germany,
a pretty big one.
I can't think of anything else that really sticks out. Anyway, race cars.
Race cars. So I saw a rumor
Oh,
that the FIA had fitted some kind of a second sensor on Ferrari, which has kind of explained their performance over the course of the last couple races.
Maybe, but also maybe not. There's been like rampant speculation.
There's a lot of speculation.
yeah, and Ferrari's out there being like, no, it's definitely not related. But of course, they would say that either way,
Right.
So
Like,
it's just like that doesn't clear
Russia
up
and
things at all.
Japan seems
anything
like
anybody-
Mercedes have gained like significant ground as far as performance goes. So
Yeah,
yeah. So,
but I mean, they were strong both of those tracks last year as well.
What did anybody read up exactly like what the sensor was monitoring,
power output.
or why they needed a second one for the Ferraris?
I think it's like
I skimmed through something literally earlier today, and I don't.
I think it's like before and after a component.
They have like a split battery setup in their car, so people were theorizing that like, oh, they could discharge one while charging the other, or they could run them in parallel or in series,
Yeah.
and do things that way. So I think that people are saying, oh, well, maybe they did that to put that sensor in there to make sure that they weren't like gaming the
Yeah, which like
electrical output by using the.
I wouldn't
battery.
put it past Ferrari.
Oh no, I mean
try
like,
something like that.
Yeah, like,
because it's all about rule interpretation, right?
Yeah, I would encourage all the teams to try to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Even I would say, because I think that they didn't say that you can't do it this way, and that lets you do this thing. So until they're like, you can't do that, then go ahead and do it. I feel like there's some things that maybe Toro Rosso did this weekend that are kind of like that, but that the FIA kind of slapped them for. But
yeah.
I
into that
don't
a
know what
little
you're
bit
talking
later.
about.
Speaking of, we're at Japan.
we are
Yes.
in Japan.
Japan.
The
beautiful
2018
here.
Honda Japanese Grand Prix.
Hey, Devin.
Yes.
What prefecture?
Mie.
Mie.
I'm sorry. Is your name Devin?
Hello.
Okay.
I don't have a beard.
Neither does he.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you guys want to run down all the practices and the qualifying?
The one thing I remember from practice is that Hulkenberg really bent it in FP3 and brought out a red flag, and Esteban Ocon didn't slow down enough during that red flag and incurs a 3-place grid penalty. But aside from that, I don't remember anything particularly.
Did it rain during free practice?
During free practice 3, it did, I think.
Oh, yeah. It rained during free practice 3 and qualifying, right?
Yes.
So do you guys want to run down qualifying?
Yeah, so speaking of Hulkenberg, the surprising thing about Q1 is that Hulkenberg didn't make it out of Q1.
That doesn't sound surprising considering you just said he'd bend it in FP3.
Yeah, but it's still weird to see a Renault out in Q1. I think he ran. I don't remember.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
run.
but
I do
car
remember
setup
that.
and stuff is probably not the same
Yeah,
as it was.
but
So.
when Lance Stroll makes that out of Q1 and Nico Hulkenberg doesn't, you're like, that's so weird.
I think Renault is probably focusing on next season at this point.
Yeah.
Like, as far
I
as
mean,
car
realistically,
development and
all the teams should be right now.
all of them except 2. And really all of them except
Really all of them.
Yeah, really all of them.
Yeah.
But, I would definitely say all of them but 2 at a minimum.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then speaking of Renault failures, start of Q2, Daniel Ricciardo's engine stops working. So
that's like, how many races in a row has he had some sort of mechanical problem?
How many races are we in? Like 16? Let's say 16.
Wasn't it
No,
Max at the beginning of the season taking a lot of the failures, and now it's Ricciardo?
no, I don't.
That was last season.
Okay.
This season, I feel like it's been more like back and forth.
But yeah, that's heartbreaking. I'm sure you guys saw him screaming.
Yeah, that was startling.
Yeah, just
coming from him.
Walking down the pit lane with his helmet visor open, and then he shuts the visor and then screams. It came through very clearly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's a bum deal. Like, even so, I was explaining to my wife what had happened with Daniel Ricciardo, because she watched the race with me this week. And then I showed her that video, and she is a Daniel Ricciardo fan, and she is very heartbroken.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to see this dude do bad. You don't want to see bad things happen to him. So it sucks.
Wonder, with his recent string of luck, how he's feeling about his contract for next year.
I mean, look at the Renault failures, though, like in Renault proper. Like, they haven't really had the same rate.
Yeah.
Granted, their performance is significantly worse. But I don't think he's looking for... I think I saw somewhere say that he wasn't expecting any podiums to like 2020.
Yeah, and he shouldn't.
Right.
I would kind of picture Daniel Ricciardo's move more of like a Lewis Hamilton move to Mercedes. Like, he knows he's not going to win right away. But also, like...
But yeah, it's still, though, I think it must hurt when it's just like, oh, cool, I just signed with this team that just keeps repeatedly failing.
Well, like Jeff said, Renault proper is not having the same failures, and I feel like this is more of like a McLaren situation.
At the end of the year last year.
Right, but comparatively...
I feel like this is more of like a McLaren situation where their chassis and how they're using this power unit are causing the failures because they want to win, right?
Yeah.
They want to try to compete in the top 3, not with the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's more of they're pushing that power unit beyond the limits of what it can do just to be competitive at the front than it is like a bad power unit. Like, there's only 2 good power units, and we know what they are. So
Honda and
well, maybe next year.
Honda actually looking pretty good this race in particular. So moving on into Q3, the most shocking thing about Q3 is that Brendan Hartley's there, and slightly less shocking is that Pierre Gasly's also there.
I didn't read the article, but I saw an article about how Brendan Hartley's engineer like tricked him into doing a fast lap. I'll have to go back and read that, and I'll post it in the Radial podcast crew.
Maybe they should trick that guy more often.
Yeah,
if
maybe
he has to be tricked to not do a bad job.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I guess it didn't rain in Q1 and Q2, did it?
No. I guess the rain started till Q3.
I guess they got there on merit, but like I think they qualified as high as they did mostly due to how some events played out in Q3.
Yeah. So
It started to rain between Q2 and Q3.
Yeah, I think at the end of Q2 it started raining, and then it stopped in between the sessions. And
it rained at the end of Q3.
And then it started again at the end of Q3. The other notable thing about Q3 is that both Ferraris decided to start on intermediate tires, and they immediately were like, this was a fuck up. We should have been on slicks. Everyone else went on slicks, and they didn't even try and do a lap. So they just did their out lap, came back in, and got new tires, and went back out. But by the time they went back out, it had started raining again. So
I didn't watch qualifying live, so I only saw the highlights of it. But one of the things that I saw somebody say was that Mercedes had the inters on the cars while the TV broadcast cameras was on their garage. And then suddenly, as soon as the session started, they were on slicks. So, almost as if they were like, let's trick Ferrari into thinking that we're going to go out on, fuck you, on inters. Like,
or did they think that they wanted inters and then as the rain stopped?
Are you thinking too hard about it?
That seems more likely, but it also seems like, did Ferrari, like regardless of what Mercedes was intending to do, did Ferrari just pay attention to what they were doing through the TV feed and be like, we're real fucking bad at strategy. What's Mercedes doing?
Yeah, as it turns out, Ferrari's real fucking bad at strategy.
Yeah, like, I feel like the highlight package that I saw was Vettel sitting like in the lane waiting for the light to turn green, and he's like, "These are the wrong tires."
Yeah, just immediately he was like, "It's too dry."
Before the session even started, he's like, "This is not right."
Yep. So yeah, as a result of that, Raikkonen managed to get a decent lap in before it started getting too wet, and he ended up P4, but Vettel definitely did not, and he ended up P9, and then was promoted to P8 because Ocon got that 3-place penalty.
I was wondering what had happened there.
Which also promotes Leclerc to P10, so he gets to start P10 with his choice of tires.
Hell yeah.
So that's nice for him. And Hamilton on pole, and then Bottas and Verstappen behind him. So, and Ricardo mentioned his engine failure. He'll start P15 because he got into Q2 and then didn't set a time. So, in this race, again, watch Ricardo have to carve through the field and Vettel try and get up there because Vettel really needs some wins.
If he wants to be in contention, he needs some stuff to go his way.
Yeah, because his gap's getting harder and harder to recover from. So
yep,
he's really got to go for it. Speaking of, let's get into the race.
Hell yeah.
Lap 1, all the leaders get away pretty quick. Hartley has a pretty bad start and immediately gets gobbled up by Vettel and Gasly. And then Vettel gets past Gasly after just a little bit. And meanwhile, further up, Kimi is pushing pretty hard and on Max. Max blows a turn and has to go off, and then has a choice to make of, do I
rejoin safely,
or do I try and just move back to the racing line?
And what does he choose to do?
He chooses to return to the racing line.
He did choose the wrong answer.
Which, in retrospect, the wrong answer. I can understand why he did it, because he was maybe trying to not gain an advantage by just cutting this.
I think he was trying to not lose a place more than he was trying to not gain
if he just cut through that, he would definitely have maintained his place.
He would have had to give Kimi that position.
Exactly. So that he didn't want to gain an advantage, so he opted to return to the racing line.
He didn't want to lose a place.
He thought he had room.
The problem that I take with this is in his radio transmission when they tell him that he has the penalty, and he says, "Well, Kimi should have just waited for me to."
That's why I have a problem with it.
Kimi doesn't have to fucking wait. He's on track racing. He doesn't have to wait for you to get back on.
Yeah. So, Max Verstappen hits Kimi Räikkönen as he re-enters the track.
They barely touch. I think it broke some of one of their floors. I don't know whose floor broke, but I saw a piece come up between them of just black carbon. So I'm assuming
based on how it didn't affect their performance.
Yeah, it didn't seem to.
It didn't.
But Max gets a 5-second time penalty for this. And Vettel gets past Kimi on this bump as well.
Yes.
Up into P4. So at this point, Vettel's up into P4 still on lap 1. So it's
pretty good.
Did pretty good. But really all he had to do was pass the Toro Rossos and his teammate that just got bumped.
Yep.
So meanwhile, at the end of lap 1, Charles Leclerc is trying to pass Kevin Magnussen, and Magnussen basically just veers across the track to cut this off.
He did last weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, and almost brake checks him as it looks like.
Yeah, Not a good move. Kevin Magnussen continuing to be a driver
danger to himself and others.
Yeah, he's the driver that I just like care for less and less every weekend.
Suck his balls, mate.
And Leclerc drives into the back of him, fucks up his front wing, and punctures Magnussen's rear right tire.
Yep.
And then you get a radio message from Charles Leclerc that says Kevin Magnussen is and will always be an idiot. And he's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I still like him more than Romain Grosjean, but I don't particularly care for either one of them.
Like, if Magnussen's a better driver, like, fine, but
Grosjean can crash by himself.
But yes, but that's better than like
being a
forcing people to drive into you.
Grosjean's made like 10 consecutive Q3 appearances.
He's probably got the fourth best car.
But like he fucked up a lot, and now he's
done some good recovery shit. Like, how many races did it take of Daniel Kvyat fucking up before he just got the boot? Like
a couple of years,
like 3, and that season, and like 2 years of it before that.
He wasn't doing bad before that.
He was just
that guy scored
a lot less than his teammate.
Yeah. Okay, fair. He's still coming back though.
He sure is. Anyway, this brings out the safety car.
Kevin
there's
Magnussen
a lot of
being
debris.
A dickhead and driving his fucking car around the track,
just
throwing fucking bits of tire everywhere, and fucking up the carbon on his car.
Some really cool shots of this tire just
like fanned out.
Yeah, being ripped apart by the rotation.
Yeah, being a real asshole.
Centripetal force? Centrifugal force?
Centrifugal force, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, being a dick, he should have pulled the car off.
Yeah, he can make it around. I mean, I get it. Everybody literally everybody that gets punctures on lap 1 like tries to make it around unless it's Alonso sometimes.
But safety car comes out. Done.
Yep. So this brings out a safety car. Again, Vettel's in P4 and has Max Verstappen just ahead of him, and then both Mercedes. And
so he's got a shot at a podium.
He's got a shot at a podium. He needs as many points as he can get.
Yes.
Safety car comes in, and after a few turns, Vettel is kind of gaining on Verstappen and tries to make a move.
Tries to pass him around the inside of Spoon.
Yeah. At a place where it didn't really like,
which is a turn of diminishing.
It was an odd place to try to make the pass.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know if this was the place. And also, Max had that 5-second time penalty, so it's like,
he would have already passed him had he waited until people were pitting.
Yeah,
or just hang out right next to him the whole race, and then you win.
Yeah,
or you get third.
He would have gotten the undercut.
Yeah, so. Except he doesn't want third. So like, I kind of understand.
I kind of understand
because like third's not good enough. He needs.
I kind of understand
to try and get up there to fight Lewis,
but at the same time, I kind of like, hey man,
this was not the place to do it.
It's Max Verstappen too.
Yeah,
so you really need to question that pass because the dude's not just going to give it to you.
So anyway, he drove into Verstappen, and Verstappen, I'm going to say, left him room. There was a car's width.
That's not a car's width.
What room does he have to leave him? He's ahead of the other car going into the corner, and the other car is on the inside. Like he has.
Yeah, Max was on the racing line
what's
and
he gonna do,
left
go off track for him.
Like this, when you say left him room, which is what I disagree with, I still think it's a racing incident. I think it was a stupid move on Sebastian Vettel's part, but when you look at the replay and you look at it, there is not a car's width of asphalt there.
If you include the curb, which is part of the track. If you include
the curb, it's not always part of the track.
The curb's always part of the track.
But also, if you expect him to make the turn while driving on the curb, you're going to get run into.
Yeah, well,
like, I still think it was a stupid move.
Here, when does a driver have to leave space for another car on the inside of the turn?
When you are alongside a car, you have to give them space.
They were not alongside each other. When they entered the piece of that corner that you could kind of consider.
So I don't disagree with the no penalty. Like, it's a racing incident.
I don't disagree with that at all. I disagree with the thought that Max was supposed to give him room there.
I only disagree with the sentiment of he gave him room. He did not give him room.
I don't think he was.
I think he left enough room.
I think he
left enough room for that incident to occur. Because, like I've said before, it's not like Sebastian Vettel could have just decided to push the brake pedal harder and not have that happen. Like, he had already committed to that move. You cannot just decide to slow down harder or turn harder. That's not how physics works. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that he left him room to make the corner. I don't think that he should have had to make room. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. I think the whether or not there was room thing is an unnecessary obfuscation.
I think it was a racing incident. I think
thing.
Vettel made a desperate and poorly thought out attempt to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he runs into the side of Max and like throws Max's rear end up into the air and then manages to spin Vettel.
Yeah, he spins and goes to last.
Yeah, I think if Max had suffered from this, Vettel would have taken a penalty. But since Max was able to continue and Vettel spun out and ends up in P19, I think that is why it was just a racing incident. Because in this same scenario, if Vettel had got out of that unscathed and Max got sent to the back, like, that was Vettel's fault that happened. And
yes.
Yeah. So I think there would have been a penalty there.
Haven't we talked about, like, the outcome of something shouldn't necessarily dictate whether or not a penalty is awarded?
Well, if the act itself was, like, kind of was the penalty, like, in a case that's, like, fairly narrow.
So Vettel, after the race, got kind of quoted on this, and it's kind of like a Senna quote. Like, he saw a gap. If he didn't go for the gap, he might as well go home. It's like the Senna, like,
right.
If you see a gap, you go for the gap, or you're not a racing driver.
But is the gap big enough to put a car in there?
So that's where you're playing chicken.
Yeah.
And that's like a racing driver
and that's
thing, right?
Something that you don't do with fucking Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen's the difference there. And that's why he wasn't thinking. But if it had been like Valtteri Bottas or like Romain Grosjean, or like, I mean, if it was any other driver except Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo.
I don't know if I agree with that because of where they were at on the track. I don't necessarily know that Max would have seen him until he got hit.
Max knew he was there.
Mirrors.
I mean, yeah, he knew that he was probably close, but sure.
But there's no way he expected him to do that.
And he's turning left, and Vettel was taking like a sharper angle of that. So like he could have been in his blind spot to the mirrors.
Yeah. But I don't think Max could have anticipated that Vettel would try that move.
Yeah.
Like, even if he saw him like coming up,
I think Max would have tried that move. So I would have anticipated, if I was Max, that move may have been made.
So I think Max might have made that move, but I don't think Max thinks that anyone else would.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, it's a game of chicken, though, right? Like, you throw it in there, and you hope that they get the fuck out of the way.
It seems like he should have tried that maybe like a little bit later into the corner, because that's a long corner.
Yeah.
And he did it like at the early part of it.
I think it was...
At the end of the day,
he did not think that through.
It was
a bad
dumb
choice.
And a fuck up, and really a bummer for his title hopes. Because now, as I just said, he's in P15.
Hell yeah.
Or P19, sorry. A lot of race to go, but that's hard to recover from when you're really trying to win.
Vettel's mistakes.
Yeah.
So
there's the other one.
One more of them.
Yeah. My next note comes from lap 15, where Ricciardo's gotten his way up to P5 after starting in 15th. I guess 7 laps the safety car ran. So
reminiscent of Max last week.
Yeah, a bit slower, but the safety car kind of helped slow that down.
Also, I mean, it's Daniel Ricciardo. He's a little bit more calculated. I'm sure he would take his time because
he's just going to do it through late braking every time, basically.
And so Ferrari with a bad strategy call.
Oh, imagine that.
Pitted Kimi into a bunch of traffic when he came out. So Kimi was, I don't remember if he was the first of the leaders to stop, but he stopped before either Red Bull. But Kimi stops, goes out into traffic, Max stops, serves his 5-second time penalty, and comes out ahead of Raikkonen. And then when Ricciardo comes in and stops, he comes out ahead of Raikkonen. So Ferrari's strategy call
Ferrari fucks itself.
Was so bad that Max's 5-second penalty was negated and Ricciardo jumped him.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
How, like, you're fucking Ferrari. How do you...
strategist?
He's definitely a guy at Ferrari. I don't know if he's the strategist, but, like, I don't know.
Please, strategist.
No.
Stratego?
Never.
Stratego. No, their fucking lead strategist is getting fired this year for sure.
How does this keep happening? Like, it's been years of Ferraris having, like, terrible strategy. Like, they should have won the first race of 2016 and then blew it on a strategy call. It's another notable example. It's like, how is Ferrari's strategy, like, consistently so bad?
They're proud Italians, and they do what the fuck they want.
Well, seems like what they want is to lose.
What they want is for next year. Every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every year after the summer break.
Next year, TM.
Yeah. So at this point now, after those pit stops, we've got Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Raikkonen as our top 5. My next note here is by lap 32, Vettel's up to P10. So, contrary to Daniel Ricciardo, he's having a very slow time cutting through this field.
He also lost one of the uprights on his side pod.
He
took some damage.
Which, on the other hand, he lost that big piece of aero and is still chugging his way through the field.
It is arguably the best chassis on the grid.
But
I think it's hard to say that anyone besides Red Bull has the best chassis.
I feel like it was pretty easy to say that in the first half of the season that Ferrari had the best chassis on the grid.
Yeah.
I think Ferrari has the best engine on the grid.
I'm not sure I believe that anymore.
Fine. I'll change my statements today. The first half of the season, it looked like Ferrari had the best car on the grid.
Like, looking at, I think Ferrari had the best car on the grid early season. I think they've got the best engine, and I think that Red Bull has the best chassis.
I feel like their engine is...
All right, if I got a stack rank chassis...
Just think about the other cars with the same engines, and just, like, compare, like, Red Bull to Renault or Red Bull to McLaren. And, like, compare, like, Mercedes to, like, Williams and Force India.
Well, compare Mercedes to, like, a brick.
And like, think about, or if you just want to like
dreams as
compare like engines, like compare like Haas to Force India and like Sauber to Williams. It's like the Ferrari engine seems like it probably better just by their weaker teams with those engines. The Ferrari seem a bit stronger.
Fair enough.
I think that there's way more variables involved than what we're trying to make it.
But like I think Red Bull probably has the best chassis because they've definitely got
the best chassis. Ferrari has the second best chassis. I think Mercedes has the best engine, like as of right now.
I think we can all agree though that Renault's the worst engine and McLaren's the worst team. Because Williams doesn't count. Come on.
I think Williams is the worst team. McLaren the second worst team.
Speaking of fuck-ups that shouldn't happen, anytime I think about McLaren, it's just like, how?
I don't know, dude. I don't want to talk about it.
But I guess Williams is the same way. Because it's like, you see Mercedes, it's like, here's this car with the same engine. And they're the worst.
I don't want to talk about it.
Mercedes has got the top of the grids either way that you stack it.
Yep. And Williams somehow is slower than last year at several tracks. And it's like, what the fuck?
I don't understand. I saw a thing today and it made me really sad. It was like...
was it just a picture of Frank Williams?
No, it was like 30 years ago today. Williams and McLaren fighting for P1 and P2 in the World Drivers' Championship and the Constructors. And then it shows a picture of them from this past weekend fighting for P14 and P15.
How the turns have tabled.
Yeah. Yeah. It made me really sad.
Yeah.
Tar also making some bad strategy calls throughout this race.
I think they just had a bad pit stop. I think it was a slow pit stop that fucked Pierre Gasly, and it was his driving that fucked Brendan Hartley.
He also had a bad pit stop.
I think so.
Or
I think
bad
both
pit
of
stop
them
strategy.
Because, like, yeah, there was something fucked up because it's like Grosjean and Gasly were fighting, and then they both pitted, and then Grosjean came out in his same spot, and Gasly had lost like 6 places after his pit stop. So something definitely went wrong in that pit stop. I didn't go back to watch to see.
I can't
exactly
remember.
what
I think
happened.
he had a wheel issue.
We forgot to mention. Fucking Ericsson ran into the back of Charles Leclerc.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Marcus Ericsson. What are
It's-
you going to
yeah.
do? And
What
the
are you gonna
answer is
do?
not hire him again.
Poor Leclerc's car is getting on the front and the back.
Yeah.
This race.
And then it blows up.
And then do we know what?
Oh, it was a suspension failure.
Suspension?
It was
Probably
a
from
suspension
getting
failure.
rammed on both ends.
Yeah, it was a rear suspension failure in Charles Leclerc's car that caused him to retire.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Next note I have here is that Vettel lap 35 is finally up to P6. And the gap to Kimi is like
40 seconds.
40
Forever.
seconds. And the commentators and me are wondering, are they going to like fucking have
I'm also
Kimi
wondering-
slam the brakes and try and flip these
Yeah.
two around? Because that would suck, but it's the smart thing to do. And they never do it, which is surprising. And also that gap never really comes down much.
That makes me feel good for 2 reasons. 1, I'm a Hamilton fan. 2, I don't like team orders.
You don't like team orders, and it makes it clear that Ferrari has totally given up at this point because that's the only reason to not do this.
It's either that or they know that Kimi Räikkönen's going to tell them to fuck right off.
Yeah, but you can at least try. Yeah, he
Do we
probably
know
won't.
they
that.
didn't?
Do you
Also, do we know? Well, I'm sure that would have been all over the news by
If-
now because you
yeah.
can hear all radio transmissions
But
now.
could they show it on his screen?
Probably not. I don't think that
I
there's
mean,
a way.
all of the in-car views are also available. So I bet.
It could
What
have
if-
been like strategic though, or like a code.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, there's nothing to say that, like, it would have been obvious.
Yeah. I don't think Kimi would have done it.
Yeah, especially if, like, what are they going to be like? Oh, well,
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Fire him? Like,
you and Charles are switching places now.
Yeah.
yeah. So I
And
don't.
he's like, okay, I'll go race.
Yeah.
You know, if I was Kimi, I probably would have asked. I'd been like, "Hey, do we need to switch?" Because like he's fighting for the championship. Because just to try to be a good teammate.
Yeah.
But
But
Yeah, I
also,
don't-
you just saw him drive into Max Verstappen,
okay, yeah,
and you're like, man, fuck that guy. I'm done with this.
yeah.
Next note here is that by lap 43, Max Verstappen is catching Bottas. And this keeps getting exciting and then stops.
Yeah.
As like every time Max catches up to Bottas, Bottas just drives away. So it seems like Bottas is really just cruising and probably just
Yeah.
protecting his tires.
Probably trying to save his engine too.
Yeah. And then like Max would catch up to him and then he just like kicks it back up a little bit. And it's like, that would have been fun to actually see them fight more.
When they were coming around Alonso, I think it was, is when Max got really close to making it happen. And I was like,
Alonso kind of has a bad habit of
being in the way.
Bad at blue flags.
Not as bad as Romain Grosjean, but...
No, I would almost say worse.
I would say worse, except for the one instance.
Grosjean's got a couple pretty egregious examples, but like I feel like Alonso's consistently bad at it.
Yeah, because he's just like, well, I'm doing my own fucking thing here.
Yeah,
that's my Fernando
Dracula.
I mean, like I kind of don't agree with blue flags. Like, let them fight to stay on the lead lap, but you know,
I agree with him because sure, fight to stay on the lead lap, but not at the potential cost of altering what
it's a race, man.
The leading cars, sure, but if a P18 car wrecks P1 because he's trying to hold his position,
sounds like
and
a race
it takes
to me.
both of them out. But that shouldn't occur.
Yeah. Also,
I disagree with that
P18
sentiment
shouldn't
entirely.
impact P1's.
Yeah.
race.
What's it matter if you're on the lead lap? Like it doesn't matter at all. So just let him pass because that's
P18,
slowing you down.
Anyway.
Also, like if you're like Sergei Sorokin and Hamilton rolls up, if you try and stop him, that's going to slow you down also. So it's like there's no point in fighting with somebody because you're not racing them. So you should get out of the way.
You're not racing anybody.
Right.
But
you're racing Lance Stroll if you're Sergei Sorokin.
Yeah, for a whole 0 points.
Yeah.
So I think Alonso just wants to have fun, you know?
He does.
I don't think Alonso is having fun.
No, I don't think he's having fun. He wants to have fun.
Okay, yes. And that's why he goes and hops into his Toyota and has his fun there.
And wins.
And he's like, this feels like the old days.
Yeah.
15 years ago when I was relevant.
And now he's an 18th century American settler.
I'm a master of impressions. What can I say? So the race finishes in that order. Max not getting past Bottas. So it is Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Vettel.
There's some decent green room this time around, right?
Yeah. Like Bottas and Hamilton are just watching the screens. Like, what the hell happened to him? And then it's just showing Vettel run into Max, and Lewis just says shit like 3 times. He's like, oh shit. Oh shit.
It's good.
It was good. Nice to see some good green room stuff.
Finally.
Although I still don't like the pre-green room interviews.
Agreed.
Because it just takes away from the green room.
Is anyone else starting to notice them running their hands through their sweaty hair? It's gross.
No,
I notice it all the time, but I don't
because
care.
I know that they're athletes and they're probably sweaty.
I know that they're sweaty. Let them towel off. Don't make them use their hand.
Lewis Hamilton's too busy using that towel to dry off his ass crack. Like, I wouldn't want that on my head.
So the gap has opened up ever wider at this point.
67.
Hamilton up to 331 points. Vettel with 264.
But what's the over-under on Vettel right now?
So that is a gap of 67 points. You mean like what's the over-under that Vettel actually takes this championship?
Yeah.
Oh,
like 1,000,000 to 1. Like there's no fucking way.
Did you guys see that Liberty has a deal to start gambling?
Hell yeah. There's nothing more American.
No, it's. I feel like it's more English. I feel like soccer betting and stuff like that. So like that stuff is going to come about, and that feels bad.
I'm going to go to Vegas and bet on Formula One races.
Hell yeah, let's go bet on the ponies.
The Ferraris?
No, that's actually probably a bad idea, betting on the ponies.
This season.
It's a bad idea.
Meanwhile, Bottas slightly stretches out his lead over Raikkonen that he gained last time. And Verstappen's catching up to Kimi. And Ricciardo not that far behind, but probably too far to catch Kimi. So
yeah, I don't think Ricciardo's going to catch Kimi. I think Max might, though.
Ricciardo is 50 points exactly behind Raikkonen, and Max is 23 points behind Raikkonen.
What do we got?
I think it'll take
Four
one
left.
DNF, and Max can get by Kimi. I don't think Daniel can get it done.
It's unlikely that Kimi will DNF, though, because, like, unless his, like, car blows up, nobody's going to run into him because he doesn't really fight.
Max ran into him.
That's true. Max did run into him. Never mind.
There you go.
I take it all back.
There you go.
So now we've got a 2-week break. Is it 2 weeks? Yes.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Next
Come
race
to America.
is
Going to Austin.
USA.
The race is in you.
No.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
I really hate that.
Change your name, nerd.
I really fucking hate that. Like,
keep Austin weird. You know what I mean?
every fucking place I go, people are like, Austin, Texas. And it's like, go fuck yourself.
I run into the same problem. I talk to somebody like, oh, like Devonshire, England?
No, that literally never happens. That has never happened to you.
They're like, oh, like that big building? I'm like, yeah.
Okay, maybe that.
Editor's note, in the city we live in, there's a big building named Devon.
The Devon Energy.
It's spelled wrong. But, so yeah, next time we are in United States, which means we have decent times for us.
Great times.
Incredibly decent. Mad decent, you could say.
2:10 p.m.
So qualifying is at
kind of fucks up my Sunday.
Yeah, actually, I guess we will be recording late.
Not as late as this week.
That's true. Or maybe we will.
This comes out in less than 12 hours.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah. USA.
You guys just wanted me here.
2 weeks. Qualifying at 4 p.m. The race is at 3 p.m. on Sunday.
So who's going to make a last-minute break for Texas?
Hang on, it's at 3 p.m.?
3 p.m.
This is bullshit.
I'm an idiot. I take that back. It is 1 p.m.
What? 1 p.m.?
The race is at 1 p.m.
This is all kinds of fucking my day up.
I'm used to it being just like an hour between qualifying and the race.
So you guys going to come to my house to watch the race?
Maybe.
Crack some cold ones with the boys?
Only if you get better beer in here.
Get me some pineapple ciders that aren't shit.
Good news. I can buy everything everywhere now.
Yeah, fucking weird. Oklahoma just got good liquor laws, and by good, I mean kind of okay.
Yeah.
There's wine in grocery stores now.
Hell yeah, and like proper beer.
Proper beer everywhere.
I wonder how many states still like have 3-point beer.
Utah.
Probably Utah.
Yeah, probably Utah. Like, I wonder at what point it becomes
I don't know,
not
man,
worth doing.
I didn't even know it was like that until
what?
Like I knew that it was like kind of shitty, but I didn't know how bad it was until like I went to Kentucky and like when we were driving through like, Missouri, and I was like, "Hey, is that whiskey in the gas station?" Like,
yeah, and it's just like, oh, I'm in Missouri, and they just have a drive-through at this liquor store.
You can drink in a vehicle in Missouri so long as you're not the driver.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
It's awesome.
It's good shit.
Yep. So yeah, that closes out Japan. Honda unfortunately not able to get points. Like towards the end of the race, Carlos Sainz got past Pierre Gasly for P10. So Gasly finishes P11. His tires were very clearly done because like as soon as Sainz got him, he just started dropping off hard. Like I think by the end of the race, it was like a 20, 30 second gap.
Damn.
I feel like overall, Honda was pretty excited about their performance.
Honda's doing pretty good.
As far as like their engine performance. Like it seems like they've made more progress in this year than they have with any of the years with McLaren.
It's crazy. It's almost like they had a chokehold on them from a team.
Yeah, fuck McLaren. I'm with you.
A chokehold.
Oh, chokehold.
I am concerned just based on Red Bull and hearing similar things. Like, I don't think it'll happen, but
I'm very optimistic.
I am optimistic for next season. I am not optimistic once they get simplified aero because that's where Red Bull does really well. And if they have to step that back, that seems like it's going to hurt them in a big way.
I mean, the aero used to be simpler as well. Like, it's been simpler before, and they were still...
Oh, okay.
Like, the best.
I think that they're going to be okay.
I hope so.
Just okay, though. I don't see him winning a World Drivers' Championship.
Can you see him being like third best?
I can see him being third best.
Okay, that's all I want.
I can see that the margin staying right where it is.
Did you guys see the Red Bull poster for Japan?
No.
Oh, it's
the only thing I ever see you guys
did.
shitting on Renaults.
I did. I posted it to the Facebook page. It is basically the poster from Akira that you probably...
An anime?
It's...
Onime.
There's not a... What? Knock your microphone.
Manga.
No,
Anyway.
what the fuck is wrong with both of you?
Anyway, it's a very iconic movie poster for this old, like, 1980s Japanese movie. And the original poster is a man walking to this, like, future motorcycle, and they replaced it with Max walking to
From, like,
his
an
car.
overhead shot.
Yeah, and it looks really good.
Wait, who?
Max?
Is this a Ferrari poster?
No, Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bull made a poster.
Yeah, Ferrari doesn't have this amount of style. Like, Ferrari makes some decent posters, but they're not stylish in this way.
I think Renault has some stylish posters.
Renault has,
Some
like,
hot
MS
garbage.
Paint. Like, Renault's, like, cranking those
I
out,
think
like,
Renault
5
gets
minutes.
the award for style. They have the best style.
You're out of your mind. You're fucking bonkers. Anyway, I believe I shared this poster to the Facebook page, so check
I
it out
didn't even
there.
see that, so
It looks sick.
It's sick. I even sent it to you personally.
probably didn't look at it either.
Well,
I have this thing. It's called a job. I know that you don't have one.
I kind of do now. I actually kind of did before. But,
Actually, you do kind of have a job.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of having a job, our T-shirts are on sale.
Yeah, they are.
You can buy them at shop.hatsunemiku.racing.
Using code.
Miku.
And how much percentage do you get off?
25?
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I might use that code.
Yeah. You could.
I mean, I need a hoodie. It's getting cold. It's actually going to be cold as shit in the morning.
So...
Do they not work
You're
on
gonna have
hoodies?
to-
Is that what you're about to tell me right now?
I think the code might not work on the hoodie.
That's bullshit.
Is it because our hoodie is already so lowly priced?
It is actually.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
So we cannot, the shop won't let me take a loss on anything.
Okay, good. I was just about to ask that as like a little production minute of, are we costing ourselves money at any point?
So we're making basically
Get a
no
bill?
profit on this sale.
Yeah, I just want people to have the shirts.
But I think we're taking a loss. We would be taking a loss, and it won't let that happen for the hoodie.
Oh, that's too bad.
I might be able to get around that just for the hoodie, but you wouldn't be able to order two things probably with two different codes. I could probably make a separate code that's just for the hoodie.
Listen, if you just want a hoodie, it's getting cold.
They're already very reasonably priced.
Also, I can still get you guys hats if you want hats. You just have to talk to me.
Oh, is your hat guy still able to make
Yeah,
hats?
he's still my hat guy. He just doesn't live around the corner from me anymore.
Okay.
Or make stickers.
Or make stickers anymore. It bums me out. I still have stickers if anybody wants stickers.
I've got two.
Yeah, but they're not on your car.
No, I need to clean my windshield first. And I haven't done that in the 9 months since you gave me that sticker.
Hell yeah. So the Bathurst 1000 happened.
Yes, I heard about it.
Oh, it did happen already?
It has already happened.
Oh, okay.
We are not covering that this week. We don't have anything going on for a couple weeks. We're going to cover the Bathurst 1000 next week.
Yes.
I guess, per what Wikipedia has told me, it is the pinnacle of motorsport in Australia. I wonder if they know that there's a Formula One race that happens there.
They must not, which is really
yeah, it's
stupid because
crazy.
they've got like two guys from Australia in F1.
Yeah.
You got Daniel Ricciardo, and then you got that Brendan kid.
I think he's from New Zealand.
Same. That's the same thing.
I'm so sorry, Shay.
But yeah, we're going to cover Bathurst next week.
It's nice to have other motorsport aside from Formula One. To that, if you don't watch it, you can just go back and watch it later, and
Yeah.
it's unlikely you've been spoiled. Because like, if I miss an F1 race, that shit pops up all over the fucking place. But like, if I miss a Super GT race or Formula E, like I rarely run into that.
Go ahead
shit
and miss
anywhere.
every Formula E race. Like, that'd probably be okay.
Well, I guess all of the drivers haven't been confirmed yet. I might try again with Formula E.
Nope.
New cars.
Hard pass.
Some new teams.
Is WEC over?
I don't think so.
We haven't covered that in a while.
Yeah, it's long.
I think there was an IMSA race on Sunday also.
Did the Porsche win?
I don't know.
As a member of my local Porsche owners club, I got to root for the Porsches.
I mean, this is the number one Porsche podcast. So
yeah,
we are the number one Porsche owners. No Porsche updates, by the way.
Yeah.
Give us something to take it to.
Yeah.
Since that race got canceled, little incentive to actually work on the car.
Yeah,
We should actually probably do something.
We should probably do something.
We're going to do something with it. I know it's just sitting in your driveway, Jeff, but
it
has
trashy.
4 brand new tires, man.
It does. It looks trashy though.
I mean,
You look trashy.
I do. Have you seen my driveway?
it contains a Mazda Tribute that's brown.
Yeah, that's honestly.
Brown metallic. Thank you.
Is that really the name of that color?
No. But it is got metallic plate in it.
It is a brown car. This is a James Mayest ass
telling
fucking
me
car.
it's fucking gray. It's definitely brown.
It's
that car
definitely
is
brown.
Yes.
And then a base model Ford Fusion.
Yeah, the good one though, like you want.
And then a Porsche.
Yeah.
What's not to love about that? And then you open the garage, and then there's just this dismantled Dodge Viper.
Should throw a sheet on that.
Yeah, it's just up on like fucking cinder blocks, and every time.
Fuck you! Don't perpetuate that because that's a running joke at work that they won't.
It's a
let
Dodge
me
Viper
down.
up on blocks.
Yes, it rolls.
I mean, it does roll. It's got like brand new coilovers on it.
It's got some 50-mile coilovers on it.
Hell yeah, it does.
You should put some more miles on those.
Yeah, I'll just go
I'll
bounce.
cut a hole in the fucking floor and Fred Flintstone it everywhere.
Hell yeah.
I want that car to run again. I want Jeff to be happy. That's all I want is just for Jeff to be happy.
It's never gonna happen.
I got bad news.
I just want him to be happy.
Well,
And he just drives this ugly ass Mazda Tribute.
Fuck you.
hey,
It's ugly.
Could be worse. It could be like
And
a
it has like
2011 Ford Fusion.
I mean, oh, by the way, if anybody wants to buy a 2011 Ford Fusion, it's for sale.
What's up, Adam?
Yeah, what's up, Adam Nielsen of 10 Tits Podcast? You need a car.
So I'm gonna
This is a pretty good deal.
I'm gonna say if you're looking for a Ford Fusion, maybe like go 2 years up to where they get good looking. Like if you're gonna get a 2011, probably get a 2013 instead.
I mean, like
I actually like the 2011 more.
You're fucking stupid. Shut up. And you also shut
yours
up.
doesn't have the daytime running lights, and it makes it bad.
Agreed.
You could just get a model that does. Also,
That's more money.
But
yeah.
yeah,
Aesthetics
we're working on
over everything.
Also, daytime running lights are fucking bullshit and garbage. Who gives a shit?
No, the
I
LED
do.
ones aren't.
I like them.
You can't fucking see those.
I like
Yes,
them.
you can.
Not when you're in the car.
All right, so
and not
like,
when you're out of the car.
Jeff and I are having this debate right now because the next car, like the last 2 years model, has the good daytime running lights, but
Yeah.
previous to that, it doesn't. They look basically exactly the same, except for like a slight swoop in the headlight
Yep.
and the daytime running lights.
The grill is very slightly
And
different.
all I'm saying is that like I can get one with the daytime running lights that I can't see with the cloth interior, or I can get one without the daytime running lights and like all the creature comforts.
I'm gonna say daytime running lights is the dumbest thing to want
into 'em.
badly
I'm into them. I wish that I could have them, but I'm probably not going to have them.
because it's literally something that you yourself will never see because you're either inside the car driving it or you're outside and
sorry?
it's off.
Have you never been behind another car at a stoplight? Reflections, bro.
Yeah, reflections, bro.
in the day? You're barely
Yeah, the
gonna
car's
see them.
I mean, listen, I'm with Jeff. Like, I like a good-looking car.
Nobody likes a good-looking car more than me. Fuck you guys, you shit taste
But like,
assholes.
Fuck you and your fucking tweed interior Fiat.
Hell yeah, it's badass.
I want the heated and cooled seats. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And like,
No, I do not.
I want
I
the
do like some
touchscreen
heated
nav,
seats.
and like, I just want
My ass gets
that
warm
stuff.
enough, thank you.
I want the stuff.
I'm also
and that's the
starting
thing
to
that
want
I'm
the
having to
stuff.
like convince my wife about is like the stuff.
My wife.
I'm also starting to want the stuff.
The stuff, man. It comes with age.
It does.
And like
we took my buddy's truck this weekend on a road trip, and he has a Nissan Frontier.
Do they still make those?
I think so.
It's a couple of years old.
I've seen this truck.
Like maybe a 2015, and it's the.
Shouts out to Ryan.
To Ryan,
I know he listens.
I forget what package it is, but like instead of like chrome grill trim and chrome bumper trim, it's like paint match, and it's got like leather interior, like heated seats, and it feels like kind of executive for a truck. Like I need
that.
Not huge. It's not tiny.
Right. It's like a midsize.
It's like midsize, and it feels stately. Is
right?
a way of phrasing.
Like
it.
I think
buy your fucking Cadillac, Grandpa.
I think the next Jeff vehicle shouldn't be what I'm looking at because he's also looking at these. I think it should be a Toyota Tacoma with the
I don't
toys.
like trucks.
But a pickup is like it's a nice thing to have.
No.
It is.
Why?
Because it's utilitarian. It's practical.
Why do you need...
But I like to be able to have my stuff inside.
Yeah.
Check it out, bro. Tonneau cover.
Yeah, Ryan says like one of those tonneau covers that's like it like folds up, and it's like
and it's waterproof.
Waterproof, yeah.
And it's nice to have because you can just flip it back. Check it out. If you want to haul like a refrigerator or a dresser or something like it,
then you just call your chump friend that bought a truck. You don't have to be that guy.
But also, like a Toyota Tacoma also gets like pretty fucking good gas mileage.
The new Tacomas actually do look really sharp.
I think all the Tacomas from like the last 15 years look good.
I only like the TRD ones.
Okay, yeah.
Like those look really, really good.
Yeah.
What if you just had like a sedan?
Like a gray.
No.
I don't like sedans.
This is Oklahoma.
If it's a
you
sedan,
gotta have 4-wheel drive.
It's got to be like a CTSV.
What, in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
You need 4-wheel drive?
Yeah,
for
like,
what?
No,
for
dick
driving on
contest.
these... I don't need to measure
my oil friend buddies.
Yeah.
Listen,
I have a buddy who I know also listens to this who has like the most expensive F-150 that you can purchase. It's not a Raptor.
No, I know.
It's a limited.
Okay.
And this dude does literally nothing that he needs a truck for. He just has it.
Yeah.
It's Oklahoma. You just got to have a pickup.
What if you just had a sedan instead?
I don't.
What if instead of like an expensive F-150, he just had like a Ford Focus?
He used to have a Mazda Grand Vitara, or not Mazda, a Suzuki Grand Vitara.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
It's just
like
an
a tiny
SUV,
little
SUV. It's like a tribute.
No, fuck you. It's way worse than
it's
a
basically
tribute.
like a tribute, but worse.
So it's like a Rodeo.
Worse than that, even.
The Rodeo was good
because the
it's
Rodeo
really it was not good. Like the dude doesn't care. Like he just got the truck because he could.
So maybe I live in a fucking different world than you people, and I definitely do.
You definitely do.
I don't know a single fucking person that's like, boy,
Shouts
I gotta
out to
own
all
a
Devin's
truck.
friends who listen to this podcast who live in a completely different world.
Like, I actually don't think anyone in my friend group owns a truck.
Yeah, so don't fucking call me when it's time to move because I'm not helping you.
Car?
What?
How many of them don't own a car?
They all own cars. We live in the widest fucking city that you can't go anywhere without a car. The public transit here fucking sucks. They're putting in a dumbass little, I don't even remember what it's called.
Tram.
It's fucking tram that's not enough.
Yeah, it goes like a couple of blocks, right?
What if I told you that you could get like a pickup that's not like a full size? It's not like me cruising around in a Duramax that you don't need.
Like an El Camino?
Almost, but like think a little bit taller.
Could I get like an El Camino, but like with 4 doors and then shorten the bed a bunch and like put a cover on it?
You mean like a station wagon?
No, like a sedan.
You mean like a hatchback?
No, just like a sedan. The cover's going to be the trunk lid.
So you mean like...
I don't want a bed on my fucking vehicle. I don't want just like a big waste deposit for nature.
It's just a dust collector, though, like in a car. Like, I don't understand your logic.
Yeah, but dust is not as bad as like leaves and dead bugs and
it's
shit.
Fine. You just drive down the road and it blows out.
I don't want it.
And that's fine.
It's something I would never use, and most people don't,
because you would use other people's. Because you're a parasite and you suck other people's resources.
When it comes time to move, I'm going to rent a fucking van. I can put everything I own into a van.
Yeah, but like, say you want to buy like a 75-inch TV tomorrow.
I would have it shipped to my fucking door.
My door.
Parasite.
Good point.
Yeah, we should shut this thing down.
We should.
Where can they find us on all the social medias? Jeff.
At Radial Podcast.
On
the social media. You just said it.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What about Google Plus?
They shut down.
Fuck that.
They shut down Google Plus. What about Peach? What is our account?
Do we have a Peach account?
Yeah, we do.
Do we have a MySpace?
Yeah.
It's a place for music now.
We don't actually have either of those accounts. I should stop lying because then I'd have to make them.
Where can they find us on the internet?
HudsonEmiku.racing.
Where else?
Shop.HudsonEmiku.racing. Use offer code Miku.
What about radiopodcast.com?
That's a pretty good one.
I mean, it seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I think that's all the ones that we need to talk about.
Yeah,
we're going to start expiring these other ones.
All of mine have renewed. So I've got another year on my bullshit.
I think I turned off auto renew on all mine. I think I still got some time though. But yeah, Bathurst next week. Jeff's gonna buy a TRD Toyota Tacoma before the next episode.
Like $55,000.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable amount of money to spend.
It's a good looking truck, but I don't want it.
That's fine.
Like
don't
sometimes
belittle other people for wanting it.
Sometimes I see a nice house and I say that's a nice house, but I don't want that.
Yeah, but
I mean, I would like.
Don't
a nice
belittle
house.
other people for having a nice house. You don't even have a house.
I probably never will.
That's a waste of money.
You're a waste of money.
I
am not.
You're not? You're just not?
Yeah.
Like anything?
No, a waste of money.
See, but here's the thing. When you want to move, you have to sell your fucking house. When I want to move, I can just fucking do it.
Yeah,
no, because you still have a lease.
Yeah, you may have to break your lease, but I have equity.
Check it out. It's this thing where you don't just piss your money. Well, I take that back.
No.
My fucking fence fell over.
Yeah, how about
go deal with that some more?
I can just call a landlord and be like, "Hey, fix my shit, dick mouth," and then he has to.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's how I talk to my landlord.
All right, let's end this podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Suppose you've had a girlfriend for the last 2 years.
I haven't.
I know it's an unbelievable hypothetical, but let's pretend